Hello, hello, mi gente. Here you are with La Margarita with Moments con Margarita. A lot has happened in my time. When I first started my videos, I was a caregiver to my husband who had ALS. He's then passed away. And now, for the past 3 years, he's been gone 3.5 years, I have been a caregiver to my mom and dementia. There's moments of lucidity where she knows what she's doing, and that's where her normal manipulation sets in. And it's hard when you're the caregiver for a parent, especially if your parent was presently absent throughout your childhood. So with a lot of prayer, I I pray for me to be able to tend to her with love and compassion and give her the utmost care and tend to all her needs and keep her clean and feed her and just make her laugh because I don't know what she went through when she became a parent. I know the pain that still lingers from the past, from her not being present for us, not hugging us or giving us the love that we needed, my sisters and I, as children. And then when you become a parent, either you overindulge with yours or you follow suit. And it's a medium that you will have to find throughout the upbringing, which I hope that I did with mine. But I started caregiving for my mom in Connecticut at my sister's house. And after about a year and a half or close to two, I decided to return to my home in Tampa with her. So I have her 24/7 on my own. And it's hard. Not only is the care and the no time for myself difficult, it's also those lucid moments of hers where she seems ungrateful. She seems like she's owed what I'm doing. And although I'm an adult now, my children are grown with their own families, and my husband has passed, it derailed my plans to travel. And I'm okay with that because I pray that I have good years ahead of me where I can do that. But it's just it's hard. And for any caregivers that are out there that want to share any comments on it, please do, because I think we need a forum for caregivers who are in the trenches 24/7 to communicate with one another. Because the trials and tribulations of caregiving for someone and really, really pulling from deep in your core to not hold any resentment, it's taxing on its own. Um, and you try, right? It's just something that we must continue to do. It's something that while we make the decision to care for them in our home, we have to give them the best. But also, while we're giving the best, we're draining ourselves because there's it really leaves no room for you to replenish, especially with dementia. Like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when she's up and she's trying to get out of bed. My mom doesn't walk; she has no balance on her own. Um, and if she falls, and praise God, nothing's happened with her there. But what happens? The reality of what if she were to fall and break a hip because the dementia has her thinking she can just get up from the bed and go walk and get a glass of water. And then there are the times where I'm assisting her to get up and she just won't get up. The fear is so paralyzing that I have to do everything, which then bears hard on my body. And although it might sound like a lot of complaints, it's reality. Let's keep this shit real. Caregiving is not for the faint of heart. Caregiving is not a choice that we made. We didn't say, oh, in my 50s, when my children are grown and I'm a widow, I'm just going to sit my ass home 24/7 and care for somebody. It is not a choice we did. I believe this was a second assignment from God for me to learn something or to better whatever it is I have to do. And I think it is a forum for me to speak on caregiving and to say it is okay to vent. It is okay that when they're sleeping or they're resting, you take a couple moments, as I'm doing now on my back porch. She's eating. And take this moment to just say, it's okay if you feel like everything around you is crashing. It's okay when you have to do a task that's not planned for, and it's like doing a cleanup on aisle fuck my life. And especially if it's been like 3 or 4 times that it's just been a messy job and you're constantly putting them in the shower and it's overwhelming and the feelings of wanting to cry, I'm going to tell you, let it out and cry. Let yourself be human. Let yourself be fragile in those moments because it helps you heal and it helps you come back stronger. When we tend to keep it in, it just marinates and it comes out as anger and you're yelling out of frustration. And it's that one thing at the end of the week that really should have just been, oh, okay, it's okay, it fell. But no, because you allowed all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday's fuck ups to just marinate within you, you do a big blow up that then tends to make you feel guilty the rest of the day and have you not be able to sleep because you feel like such a lousy person. So, what I would say, what I do is when the sun is full outside and it's midnight and I'm up and she's sleeping, I go outside barefoot and I become one with nature. And I feel myself grounding and I raise my arms up to the moon and I just allow her warmness to embrace me. That makes me feel better. I put on YouTube videos when she's having her breakfast and I sing and dance loud. I don't care if I'm tone deaf. I'm having fun and I'm making her smile, which then sets the tone where she doesn't have so much anxiety throughout the day. But it's taxing, it's exhausting. And sometimes you feel like you are the last person on earth because there's no one there. With a large family or not, there's no one there in the moments that you would like assistance. Because if you're in it now and you're doing the caregiving now, you're a badass motherfucker because you haven't quit. So you have to pull from that strength because it's within you. Everything we own is within us. Do I have my moments? Yes. Do I feel like I want to cry? Yes. Do I just sometimes just wish she'd take a nap for an extra hour just so that I can sit there and enjoy my cup of coffee? Yes. We've all been there. And it's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're not a bad person. You're just human. And especially if you don't have someone there that you can reach out to whisper sweet nothings in your ears or to tell you it's going to be okay. When you are a strong individual and you're in a situation of caregiving 24/7, people don't tend to call and check up on you because they figure, oh, she's strong, she got this. And that's such bullshit. I would like a phone call to say, hey, I got 10 minutes. Let's talk. What are you up to? What movies did you watch? Just ask me any other question other than caregiving. How is my mom? How are you dealing with that? I don't want to hear that. I'm dealing with it. I answered the phone. Let's talk about fun things, something that will stimulate me, that'll make that when I hang up that call, I'm feeling good because memories were brought up or future plans were made or just that person took the time out to call you makes a big difference. So for anyone who's watching that's not a caregiver, but you know a caregiver, make that effort because it means the world to us. When you call and you say, hey, I'm here, what's up? Is everything okay? Because caregiving is not for the faint of heart. It is exhausting. And you know what? There's only one Mother Teresa in this world, and she's no longer here. And I am not trying to be in line to be like Mother Teresa. I just want to give the best care to my mom, but at the same time, give myself the self-love and the self-care that I need in between. And although there may come a time where I will get outside help to come in and assist, it's still going to be the same thing. I'm still going to be here all night, losing sleep, checking in on her. Even though I got the alarm on her mattress that if she were to get up, it rings. But What if she were to fall by the time I get there with the alarm? It's like having a newborn. And with the newborns, you're constantly there. I check to see if she's still breathing. She's 75. Her diabetes is, she doesn't take insulin or anything like that, but it's still a concern because she's on my watch. So all this to say, be a badass. Be a badass and carve some time out for yourself, whether it's early in the morning, whether it's during her afternoon nap, or whether it's right when you put her to sleep and you hear her snoring that you know she's in a deep sleep. Either you take a nap when she's taking it, or you do something for yourself. Give yourself a manicure, a pedicure, read a book, cozy up with a hot cup of tea or a hot cup of coffee. Because I could drink coffee all day and all night. It does not disrupt my sleep. But figure out what it is that you need to do in your now, because you're not the person you were before the caregiving. And when you come out of it, you're going to discover the whole rebirth of yourself. So that's something positive to look forward to. When my husband passed away in March 2017, at the end of April 2017, I left on a spiritual journey to Spain. And there I have some of the videos on my page. And I walked for 31 days from Saint Jean in France, and I crossed the Pyrenees Mountains, and I walked all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And I had hard times. I ended up in the clinic because my feet were swollen horribly, and I had to rest for 4 days. And then I continued on my journey, and I went by myself, and I met wonderful people. And the Margarita that I met after that journey was amazing. Amazing. With all the knowledge that I gained from being a teenage mom to then being a wife to someone who not even a year into our marriage was diagnosed with ALS and quickly became paralyzed. So my home marriage was me being his nurse, not his wife. And then going to Spain and doing that journey. And I had like a pep in my step. And then in September of that year, I went to Hong Kong, to Thailand, to Bali. And then I went to New Orleans for my birthday, my 50th birthday. And then I became a caregiver. All that within that time, 6 months of me being a widow, I became a caregiver again. And this is where I'm at. And talking to a friend today, I said, this was a choice that I decided to bring her to Florida to live with me as opposed to putting her in a nursing home. So I have to accept the fact that I chose to be a caregiver because I want the best for her regardless. And then there comes days that I ask myself, what made you decide that? Then I look at her sleeping. Will there come a time in the future after COVID when I can go and come out of the nursing home as I please? It'll be time to reassess my decision. But right now, I would never dream to put her anywhere because when you can't be there and let these people know your mom needs the best care that they're going to give. So until then, I will be her full-time caregiver. Will I complain in the process? Hell yes. Am I going to be angry with the whole situation? Hell yes. Am I going to want to cry going forward? Hell yes. Because you are pressing pause on your life. But at the same time, you're allowing somebody to have a good life with compassion, love, and good care. So, we have to put it on the scale and weigh it out. And that's my balance right now. And so I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to be screaming, fuck my life sometimes. I'm going to probably get angry at myself for the decision. But those are moments. Those are just little pages in my book. Okay? And there will be some times when it might be a chapter in yours. And that's okay. Because it's not the whole story. And it won't be the whole day. And it won't be the whole week. It's a moment in your day where you're feeling Like, what the fuck have I done? But at the end, like when my husband passed away, I felt lost. Like, what am I supposed to do now? I spent 5.5 years tending to him being totally paralyzed. And that's when I went and set myself out and did the spiritual journey of El Camino de Santiago to find myself, to find the Margarita that I have matured in during that time of grieving and sorrow on a daily basis. Because with ALS, you don't know when's their last breath. So then I freed myself from all those emotions because he's in a better place now. My mom, I'm not saying she's going anywhere anytime soon, but there will be a time where I would have to make the decision that it's going to benefit my spirit, that where she will be placed in a good situation, and then my purse, and where I will, sorry, got interrupted, where I would be okay putting her there so that then I can take care of myself. Because with caregiving, there's loss of income, loss of your time, there's added weight, whether it's stress weight, whether it's eating in between as a comfort because you feel like you're the only person in the world. There's binge watching Netflix. There's a whole bunch of ups and downs, and caregivers depression is real, and we will talk about that. I will do videos on caregivers depression, but the tip of the day would be to have self-care always in the mornings. When I wake up in the morning, before my feet touch the floor, I am giving gratitude to God for waking me up for another day. I ask him for strength to get through my day and clarity and direction. And I give my gratitude. I don't know what the day's going to hold ahead, but I am grateful that I rose that morning and I'm able to move forward with whatever task comes to hand. As I say, I'm always home, but there's always something different. And I'm not going to say it's the worst thing, because being home during the quarantine with my mom, I published my third book. I'm writing my fourth. Um, I'm a wedding officiant, so I've married some people. I'm an artist, so I paint and I transfer my emotions onto canvas. That's my release of any sadness, any grief and sorrow. I transfer them to remove them from me. And I make art and I sell art. And that is my process. I am a spiritual and creative healing life coach where I teach people how to find that gem that they were born with and how to set it free so that they can feel free with uninhibited controls on what they are supposed to do so that they can live their divine purposeful life. And the creative healing part is I give classes where the people who need that kind of release can transfer it onto canvas. And people are so amazed that after they're done, and when I ask, why do you choose those colors? They say, oh, because it was there. And I said, no, look at it. Why do you choose those colors? And they trigger memories. Someone said this color was her grandma's favorite color, and her favorite childhood memories were time spent with grandma. So you don't really know what you're releasing until you release it. So throughout caregiving, find what your niche is. You know, I didn't know I could paint until my husband was dying. And in between his naps, I found some paint and a wall paintbrush at that. And you know that canvas you buy at Home Depot to put on the floor when you're painting? That's what I had. And I created my first painting. And that first painting, it's not in this back room. It's not. I have that one up there. And then it went on from there. So you don't really know what your talents are until you're in that moment where the walls are closing in on you. So search within and see what it is that you never paid attention to before and see what caused your attention. You'd be amazed what can come out of it. And do it when you're doing it. Put all your passions into it. Sing when you're doing it. Put some music on, your favorite music, put your headphones on, do whatever it is you got to do. But allow yourself to heal through the process. Allow yourself to say, I'm brave, I'm strong, and I'm deserving. Because you were born for a purpose, and it wasn't to just wipe other people's asses. And because being a lighthouse for everybody, being that candle, that flame of a candle so that everybody can reach safety, means you have to burn yourself out first. And how many times are you going to light that candle on both ends? Life is precious, and you were given life for a purpose. So while you're working and caring for somebody you love, as I am, find your purpose. Find your purpose and run with it, because the caregiving position isn't going to last forever. And you want to come out on the other side with something that you're proud of. I left everything when I became a caregiver for my husband. We cashed in our 401ks and our savings to modify the homes to fit his power wheelchair. So when he passed away, I was left with nothing. I had to rebuild. But before I could start rebuilding, I was called to take care of my mom. So I'm not going to stop there, because I am the gladiator guru. And if you know anything about gladiators, they were warriors. Most of them were slaves that had to fight, not always to the death, but they had to fight. They had to learn skills and get out there with swords and hands and everything. And they were survivors. I am a survivor. And a guru is because I research, I observe, I study, I pay attention to my life, and I can share wisdom. And I am that. I believe that we all have wisdom to share with one another. So let's do that. Let's do that. And for my caregivers, I hope some caregivers watch this and give me feedback. And let's parlay and let's help each other out in those dark moments, because those dark moments do happen. If not on a daily basis, they do pop up like slut magic and slap us in the face, and then we're left with no defenses. So let's be each other's back, and let's continue to give love, share compassion and empathy for that person that we're caring for, because they were placed in our care for a reason. So be the best you can be while you're putting your pieces together for yourself. Because you know what? We're all a puzzle who gets fucked up every now and again. And we might lose a piece here and then we find it under a shoe 6 months from now, but we find it and we put ourselves back together. And that's what life is about. It's not about giving up. It's never about giving up. It's about saying, you know what? I'm going to do this. Don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I'm going to do this because I can and because I was meant to. So, mi gente, until the next live, leave your comments and I'll see you then. Take care of yourself. God, you, then everyone else. Namaste.